Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful morning, and for some reason, I'm up early, even though it's my day off. I don't know why. I have a cat, and the cat's annoying, and it wakes me up. Anyway, I'm gonna work on this thing today. There's only one brake that works on it right now, and it's back on that corner. And I kind of want all four of them to work, or at least two of them. If I could get two opposing tires to work, it'd be fine. But like every time I slam on the brakes, that back tire just locks up, which is fun. Makes a big, thing of tire smoke, and sounds cool and all that. But it also takes me about 40 feet to stop from doing 5 miles an hour. So we're gonna get this thing up in the air and do some brakes. Y'all ready for this? So the first thing on doing brakes on these old Dodges is obviously we gotta take the tire off. And let's see if we can get in here. Can you see the marking right there? It says R. That's because on the passenger side, the lug nuts come off counterclockwise, like normal. Right-hand drive threads, what everybody's used to. So on the driver's side, they're all marked with a L. I don't know. There's a good one. They're all marked with an L. That is because the driver's side is reverse thread. So their left hand drives to come off. So be ready for that. All right, so we're starting on the driver's side for no other reason than it's in the sun. Bearing grease, it looks a little dryish. Cotter pin's huge by large, so that's good. Got the dust cap. It looks like my bearing nut is 1 1/16 inch. Then we got the floating washer. Then we got the outer bearing. It looks okay. Then this whole thing should just slide off. I'm going to take this out. Got to get the inner bearing seal, which I forgot to buy new ones. This thing's crumbling, man. So there'll definitely be a run to this parts store today. This thing's really stuck in there. And then there's the inner bearing. Yep. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Before I go to the brakes, I am going to clean out or clean the bearings and let them soak in some cleaning solution. And I want to remind everybody that this is all just suggested maintenance stuff. I'm not a professional. I don't even play one on TV. Kind of an idiot. So, don't do this at home, and if you do, it's not my fault. Alright, then what I got is a bucket that is full of parts cleaner solution with this fancy homemade basket in it. Make sure you wear gloves. Oh, well, there's the bearings to my 68 Ford, and that I think is a piece of cardboard. I'm just going to throw all these bearing parts in here, let it soak, kind of dissolve away all this stuff. The bottom of this is, what is that? That's a stick. Why is there a stick in here? Anyway, make sure everything's really nice and clean. This stuff stinks so bad I got a headache. A little high too. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is adjust your adjustment down. You just pull this so it's not touching it, and do that thing. And then get your fancy little, way too expensive brake tool here. Put it on the little knob, going the wrong way. It should just pop off. There we go. Got my little tray here, right in the tray. A little pull cable. There we go. This is so easy to do when you got the right tools. Adjustment thing looks fine. When you don't have the right tool, watch my other videos. I also don't like breaking stuff, so just spray everything down. I might need to replace this hose. There we go. So make sure you have a drain pan underneath it. New wheel cylinder. All right, so pro tip, got the bleeder valve here. We're just putting a little bit of plumber's tape on it. This does not help to seal it, it's self-sealing. But the reason why we do that is so when you're bleeding the brakes and you're running this thing in and out, if there's a little bit, if the threads are just a little too loose, it won't suck air back in through those threads. It'll kind of seal them up. Simple as that. Make sure the end of your hose is nice and clean. There should be a pretty gold washer. Makes it go faster. A little Loctite, just a drop. Oh God, it's all over. And you kind of have to mechanic by braille back here. Remember, any part that touches and moves, anti-seize. Some parts don't need a lot, some parts just need a little bit. Is that still visible? Pretty visible, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna start with the back brake. This goes up here. This goes in here. And then search around for your tool that you don't know where you put it. It's definitely missing. It was right here a second ago. I swear. Where the... It's not... Oh, there it is. Pushed in and lined up. There we go. Just like that. Wait. Oh, no. Then your cable. I don't know what this is called. Cable thing. Alright, so this goes in that little hole. Then this thing goes into the hole. You take your fancy little, way too expensive brake tool. There you go. Back up in there. There we go. And this spring is the same as the other side. Here's your fancy little, way expensive brake tool. Lube up that little hole. Lubed holes are happy holes. Then the cable grabs onto it right there. That's what keeps it in line. Then the spring goes from here to right there. Fight with the spring for a minute. Get it twisted in there. There you go. So now before I put the hub on, I'm gonna go do the other side. But that's how you install front brakes on a 1971 Dodge D100 or 200. I'm sure this works. I mean, it's pretty universal. There's not much, I mean, you know, it's just a drum brake on the front of a truck, that's all. Oh, this side is soaked. So this wheel cylinder was definitely leaking. This is gonna take a lot of cleaning. Well,
That was easy. Also, I can't believe I'm participating in cheap YouTube gimmicks, but let's get the hubs back on. So now I went and cleaned the bearings. They are as clean as I can possibly get, and you want to clean these in the cleanest environment that you can do. You also want to pack grease into them in the cleanest environment that you can find, which in my case is the great outdoors. Smells like freedom. Anyway, got some brand new grease. Grab some grease, squish it into the ridges from both, or ridges, whatever the gap is from both sides. And I guess this is called like preloading or something like that. I really like the color of this stuff. Let's see if I can get some squishy action going on. See, right there, started squishing out. This stuff feels so weird. And the tinfoil is there for no reason. That was nice. Beautiful. Next. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, fun story time. So I generally don't buy parts until I have the part in my hand, the old part in my hand. But for some reason on this truck, I decided to just go buy the parts. And these trucks have 2 different size brakes. Like 2 3/4 and like 3 and something. I don't know. I can't. That's what the internet's for. Go look it up. Anyway, because of those 2 sizes, they have 2 sizes of wheel seals because the spindles are obviously different sizes. So I, had the right brake size, went in there, got the wheel seals that I need. Come home and it is that big, which obviously is a little wrong. So I went back, grabbed the other size, and it just fell right into the middle. So I had the wrong size again. So they told me that they had their hub store across town, had another size. Went all the way over there, got it, came home, wrong size. So I was like, crap, well, what do I do? Went to another parts store, there's a hair. The only sizes they had were the wrong sizes. So apparently I have a third size that nobody knows about. And came home, had to dig through the recycling to find the old seal, take it in, and then they had to order it. So because I broke my own rule of not having the piece in my hand when I go to buy it, I spent 2 or 3 hours running around trying to find this. And if I would have just taken it the first time, it would have been done. Anyway, let's get this in here. So this has all been cleaned out. This thing is spotless. I would eat off of that. Put the bearing in. Then you can pack a grease into here, which is what I'm going to do real quick. Take your bearing seal, try to center it and make it like even, then cover it. And take your bearing seal installer 4000. Yeah, that did pretty good. One more whack. And then just gently tap it in until it's almost flush. There you go. Clean, packed bearings. Take the whole hub, center it right on there. Should go on nice and easy. You just pack it full. This is going to take a while. Take the small bearing, pre-packed, cone side in. Squish it in there. Take your locking washer and your nut. Hey, how's it going?
Hope it's dry today for you, big guy.
Yeah, it's been nice today. I've lost all grip because of all the grease. 30 foot-pounds. This is just a number I found on the internet. If you find something different, go by what research you find. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if this is gonna mess it up, But I've got it on 30 foot-pounds. Spin the wheel as you're doing this. I like to do this twice, just to break it loose. Just a little bit. Now you can move it with your finger, right? I broke my glove. All right, so spin it again. 30 foot-pounds. So now the bearing is seated. Break it. So now I can finger tighten it, just like that. And go a little tighter. There we go. Lock cap. Then brand new cotter pin. You can take your cap and guess what? Fill it with grease. Like, you don't have to fill the cap with grease. Basically, when this stuff heats up, it's going to become more viscous and it'll kind of move around in there. So you want it to be able to move around back and forth as much as possible and not let those bearings dry up. So that's why we overfill and overpack these things. Then the very last thing you want to do is get all this excess grease off, especially around these lug nuts. And we also want to adjust the brakes.
Oh, what? Oh my God. I didn't even see you there.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. This brake's done. 3 more to go. Let's go do the back ones real quick. Do the back, and on these, the stopper thing, the drum, is held on by the axle, and you have to take these bolts out right here. I've already soaked them in penetrating oil, but these things are really rusty. So I'm going to take a wire wheel and clean it all up so I can get as much of that out as possible. So hopefully this will come off really easy. Of course I'm going to go overboard and do the whole friggin' thing. On these, when you're doing brakes back here, the axle is filled with oil. Oil goes all the way down, lubes the bearings that are inside here. So when you go to take the axle out, there's oil sitting in the tube, and that oil is going to leak down. So to minimize that, you want to put the end that you're working on higher than the end that you're not working on, and that way it'll minimize it. Some's still going to come out, but I'll catch it in a pan, and then I'll check the level, but I don't think I'm going to really do much because I want to change everything in here, get it all fresh lubey, all that stuff. See how hard this is? Not bad at all. Look at that. So basically what we need to do now is all these little things need to come out so we can get the whole thing out of there. Oh, got my catch pan. Damn it. Alright, there is the axle. That's alright. There we go. Alright, that big ass nut and this little locky ring's got a groove. Another big ass nut. Don't want to drop it. Oh, that's an oily mess. Then there's the inner bearing. So these are exactly like the fronts. These pads, everything is soaked. All right, so I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. I don't see anything. I mean, this thing is definitely, that's not good. That thing's definitely been leaking. All right, same basic thing as the front, only the difference is it's got this spreader bar for the e-brake. Let's get it disassembled. I'm gonna move you back a little bit. Oh yeah, and then the e-brake has this little clip you got to bend and pop off. And don't forget about that. Oh, it's gonna toy with me. All right, then the e-brake, since that clip's out, should just slide right off. Apparently there's no inner washer. And then that just comes right off just like that. And nope, it's just Roundy McRounderson. And now, just take the whole brake line with it. And nicely rounded. All right, well, everything is cleaned up and it is time for assembly. Let me tell you, the cleanup took a very long time. So of course, assembly is just pretty much the reverse of disassembly. So you pull back the spring, just put it in there. Yeah, get that right there. All right, why are you not going on? Did you shrink? So got that on there. Take your brake shoe, get in the hole, get your little clip on there, squeeze it on with your pliers, just squeeze the ends together. Okay, so another difference between the front and the back is this little thing right here. Don't forget this spring. I think goes on like that, goes into this one. And make sure you have this little tab right there, and right there. Everything's tight, snugged, the cable's routed proper, springs are on. Make sure your brake pads are clean, no oils or residues on them. But there you go. Now let's get that hub on. Pretty easy. The bearing is all cleaned up. It's really easy to do on the back ones because they're just lubed by the oil that is in the axle. Then I got a new bearing seal. Put the seal in there, a piece of wood. See if I can do this. Oh, that made way more mess than I wanted. Look at that. And you want it almost flush, but not all the way flush. That's good enough. Just ripped a piece of my glove off. Right, then we have the front bearing. Then we have the first nut. It's starting to rain again. It's friggin' June, man. Can't we stop? There is a torque spec for this, and basically what you do is you torque it down, then you back it off, then you finger tighten it. But since I don't have the right, thing, what's that thing called? Socket. Since I don't have the right socket for it, then this is how I do it. Seems pretty tight, and I do like to reseat it twice. It's just my own thing. All right, loosen, then just finger tighten it, as much as you can. You can also put the tire on there, give it a little bit more weight, and you'll be able to feel the tightening versus non-tightening. And I think this is going to be okay. And then put your little lock ring in, then the outer nut. This one you can tighten down a lot more because this holds the whole assembly apart together. Oh, that's friggin' tight. We have our axle flange gasket, and we have some RTV, well, some clear silicone. So we're not gonna goop this stuff on like crazy, but we're gonna use our fingers and just kind of spread it all over the gasket, just coating the whole thing. This just gives a little extra barrier. But remember when we took it off, it had all that excess on it. We don't want that. Excess is bad. Light is good. And it gets really tacky, kind of annoying. That's all you want right there. Patience. So much patience. Oh my God, I'm so impatient right now. Oh, I just want to feel these brakes stop. This is a nice gasket too, made by a great company. Try to get it as flat as possible. Sticky hands. Axle time. You kind of have to feel around, find those splines. There we go. No matter how hard I tried, I could not get the nut off this thing. So we're just gonna pretend it doesn't need it. I am also not gonna silicone these because they don't need it. That gasket should do all the work. Then finally putting the bolts on. And there's a pattern to put these on with, but I don't know what it is. So I just go in a star pattern, not all the way snug. I'm not torquing the crap out of them. Now we torque it down. So what I found, and remember, I am not a professional. I really don't know what I'm doing. And you shouldn't listen to anything I say. But what I found online is that these are 90 foot-pounds of torque. And since they're all compression fitting type things, what I'm gonna do is start at 70 and torque them all down. Oh, look at that, fits in the wheel well, perfect. Torque them all down to 70, and then I'll go up to 80. 70 foot-pounds. There's one. You know what, I'm gonna forget where I'm at. So I'm gonna mark that. That's my one. 6. Now all the way up to 90. There we go. All right. Well, there you go, all cleaned up and assembled. Time to get the hub back on, the axle in. We're getting so close. Took me hours, by the way, to clean all that up. Hopefully I don't have to do the master cylinder, but I kind of have a feeling. Anyway. All right, well, the last brake is together and it's ready for the wheel to put on there. But I'm not going to put the wheels on until I bleed them because it just gives me way more access. So let's start pumping. Did it say hold?
Hold. Hold.
Well, with everything topped off, fresh new oil, all the wheels have been bled, and I think it's ready. So let's get those wheels back on and take it for a drive. All right, well, taking it for a drive, and the pedal is very squishy still. I know there's absolutely no air in these brakes. So what I think it is probably either, well, I think it's the master cylinder. So let's put a master cylinder in it. All right, doing a master cylinder on these is easy. Now I know these things have a torque number. I don't know what that is, but I think it's right about there. When that vein right there pops out, that's good. All right, it's good. time to bleed the brakes. I think I got some stock footage. I'm not going to film this actual bleeding the brakes, so what you see is like filmed earlier, but I mean, it's bleeding brakes. Might even be the wrong car, but I'll throw it in here to, you know, so you can see as for yourself that's being done. All right, so we got the brakes all done. We've got the master cylinder bled, and oh, okay, I can't lie to y'all. I'm gonna be straight. So the truck is not going to be moving right now, and we're not going to be taking it on a test drive, only because I am months behind on editing, and I did not realize that I did not film a test drive video to end the brakes video. So I'm out here in the morning in my sweatpants and house shoes and my McDougall's Birdman 1992 cup of coffee, and well, the truck has a couple pieces taken off, so it's not going to run right now, but I'm going to pretend that we're doing the driving video, and here we go. All right, stops good. Look how nice and firm that is, and I get plenty of room in front of me, and all four brakes work, and you know what, this thing is just, this thing is just top notch. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching me. If you like these videos, keep watching. Subscribe if you can. You know, give me some comments. I love reading the comments. If you have tips or tricks or stupid joke I can use, that's non-copyrighted. We can only use non-copyrighted material on YouTube. You know, put them down in the comments. Yeah, if you'd like to donate to the betterment of this channel, my PayPal account is in the description. And give a like, subscribe. Thank you all very, very much. They're going to keep coming. I got some cool stuff. I just got way behind on editing. All right, thank you, everybody, and have a good one.